The major story of the day, something
yes.
right up our alley, is we have media fight in Indianapolis at the Combine. Now, we initially broke this story to you here last night during the club, and we were speculating because somebody, I think it was, who was it, Barstool or Bleachers, I don't know. One of those bros put out a thing that was kind of vague, and it just said on social media, two media NFL influencer insider guys got into it at a Starbucks across from the Combine.
Yeah, and it turned out it was the Starbucks in the JW Marriott Hotel, which may very well be across the street. But yeah, it was
because they're all staying
essentially
there.
The media hotel Starbucks. Yeah.
So we now have the deets, and by the way, well, I'm sorry,
we got the names.
We do have the names, and I'm a little disappointed in one of them. The other one was predictable. Per multiple sources who witnessed the interaction, Jordan Scholes of Fox and Ian Rappaport of NFL Media engaged in a verbal altercation on Wednesday afternoon at the Starbucks at the JW Marriott in Indianapolis. Schultz, we're told, accosted Rappaport. This is from Pro Football Talk.
Yeah.
So this is Florio's version. The incident first came to widespread light when, there it was, PFT commentator posted a tweet on Wednesday that referred to a serious big-time media confrontation between two NFL newsbreakers. And by the way, you should know that Jordan Scholes is Howard Schultz's son, Starbucks founder. So very ironic that this happened in a Starbucks.
I didn't even think of that.
Well, wouldn't it have been something if Rappaport KO'd Jordan Schultz in a Starbucks? Come on. I'm rooting for that.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for the demise of both of them now. But we're told, so this is from Pro Football Talk, we're told that Rappaport was talking to an agent. Schultz approached Rappaport and said, "We need to talk," or specific words to that effect. Rappaport replied, "We don't need to talk," which I love. No, we don't. Schultz then made accusations about Rappaport. Regarding the accusations, Rappaport said those were unfounded. The two men were essentially face-to-face. Schultz said, "If you have anything to say to me, say it to my effing face. If this continues, we're going to have an effing problem."
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Rappaport then asked Schultz to step back. "If this happens again, we're going to have an effing problem," said Schultz. "Now I'll step back." So a little threat. A little threat from Jordan Schultz.
If what happens again? That's what's not clear, right?
Well, I think it is. Schultz was mad. So I'll just read the rest of this to you. Rappaport declined to comment on the situation. Schultz told PFT, "It really isn't anything too much. Rappaport and I had a verbal confrontation. It lasted over a minute. Multiple agents and reporters were nearby. He was the one who called security shortly after, but it never escalated further." Apparently, Schultz was the one who put out a report that Matthew Stafford had met with Tom Brady in Montana.
Right. I saw that report.
What he's mad about is that Rappaport sort of downplayed that report. He said that was just a chance encounter, and that pissed Schultz off. He said it was not random because his reporting was that they met in Montana
to talk about football stuff. They were just there at the same time.
So somehow these two think so much of each. Well, actually, I hate to say this because I fully expected Ian Rappaport to be in the middle of this.
And why is that? I mean, is that his reputation? I've always thought of him as being kind of squeaky clean, but like.
Well, I don't know about squeaky clean. His reputation is that he's made a lot of missteps. I think there's a lot of insiders who don't take him quite as seriously as kind of a junk thrower, not necessarily as a serious insider the way of Scheffler, Glazer, those types of guys. I think Rappaport is kind of hated amongst his peers for that reason. And I don't have specific examples of that. It's just what I've heard. I also think that, I don't know if you follow a lot of the NFL newsbreakers, and I do, I follow them all on Twitter and stuff. If you really dig into Rappaport's stuff, there's a lot of really vague, almost
kind of fortune teller language where it's like anything could fit that or it could make that true.
It's kind of like he's trying a little too hard to break news that really isn't there, type of thing. So anyway, that's what they were fighting about it, which I can only imagine was great to witness. Like Schultz thought Schultz was so mad about that he had to confront him in a Starbucks and get in his face and threaten him.
My reporting is fair and accurate.
This is how self-important these guys are, though. So I'm a little disappointed in Jordan Schultz because I actually really like Howard Schultz, and I have a few run-ins with Jordan Schultz, and I like him too. I'm surprised that this is him, but here we are.
See, I don't know much of him.
Yeah, he's kind of a newer insider,
newer face in the game.
Yeah. And so I don't know. I don't know what's a douchier move though. Him confronting someone over something so stupid, or Rappaport then calling security.
Yeah, that's that seems
really?
A little much. Were you really that threatened, Ian?
Would you? I mean, like,
what's secure? Like,
when would you call? That dude could have pulled out a machete, and I'm Rappaport.
Like, you're not going to call security
security
during the confrontation, and once it's over, what's the point?
Yeah, like that's pretty. I don't know. It's a neck and neck race here. It's a douche off, but yeah, I just calling security. I mean, Schultz. It sounds like he was kind of aggressive, but not. It's typical dust up. But do you really need NFL security for that? So that's what happened.
They're around too many sports pros. They got to have a chip on their shoulder at all times. No one believed in them.
Well, they do, and they just think so much of themselves, and they're like, that's really that important that you got to fight over it?
But they convince themselves, it's like the athlete mentality, like they convince themselves that like, this is my thing, and this is what I have to protect, and it's my reputation, and then like, it gets to be this dumb pissing contest.
Yeah, it's something. It's really something. The only guy worse in sports is Doug Gottlieb than these media insider types.
Speaking of,
love themselves.
I saw Doug Gottlieb's team was favored tonight.
Yeah.
Automatic fade. I bet against him just on principle.
They must be playing a really bad
Detroit
team.
University.
Okay. And
I know nothing about either. He's awful. His team is awful. I'm fading him.
He's at Green Bay?
I'll take the points, yeah. Wisconsin, Green Bay.
And he's 3-26.
And they're 3.5-point favorites at home against Detroit.
Wow.
Fade on principle.
I wonder why.
I don't know. I mean, like you said, Detroit must be bad. Don't care.
3-26. I saw a feature on Doug Gottlieb today. Not worth really getting into, other than to tell you that he is bristly as hell about all the criticism that he's getting.
Oh yeah,
he is not handling that, and they even pointed it out in the article that being a talk show host, you're going to have to deal with criticism from people because you are often critical of sports figures and people in sports.
Well, and you're out there publicly not doing your main job.
Well, yeah, but he got a lot of crap just for that. Just that he was going to still host his show and coach, and he just calls them haters. That's the easy way to dismiss criticism is, oh, you're just a hater. Well, now he's getting real bristly over criticism that he sucks because he's also doing his radio show, and that couldn't possibly contribute to it. But he just says, what he says about that? His thing is, people are just jealous. He said, I've gotten great opportunities in my life, and people are just jealous. So it's all like...
Well, or people have seen how you conduct yourself and think you're a douche.
Yeah, he can't look in the mirror. He's the worst. But they are 3-26, and it said in that article that is the 9th worst record ever for a coach in his first year in college basketball.
Nice.
Yeah, 9th worst. So there's actually been 8 even worse than him.
Do you think he does it again next year? Or you think this
they
is
said,
one
yeah, the AD was quoted in there because they were, But
even if the AD says okay, do you think he goes back through this again?
I think he does because you can't get any worse. And at this point, you have to try to save face in some way.
Well, maybe you don't get any worse, but this can't be enjoyable.
Well, no, it's not enjoyable. But the AD said, we're going to see this through. But he did say, he said they were stunned. And I don't know how he was this stunned, but he said they were stunned at the level of criticism they got for that hire. And I don't know how he's stunned by that, but that's what he said.
It's stunning that you were stunned.
Correct. Anyway, and now you know why Suke and I stay out of the media fray when it comes to that kind of thing. All right.